And I have no problem with electric. You should be able to buy an electric car. You should buy a gas-fired car. You should buy a hybrid. You should buy whatever the hell you want. I mean, some people like electric. If you want to drive for 14 minutes to the candy store, electric is very good. But if you actually want to get into a car and drive for a few hours, you know, they're doing a couple of other ones with electric. They're going electric crazy. It doesn't work. They want all electric army tanks now. Think of this. So they want to have an army tank that's electric. You can't get it recharged. It doesn't go far enough. It doesn't go strong enough. But they want to have electric. So that we go into enemy territory. We will blast the shit out of everybody, but at least we will go in with environmentally nice equipment. Now, do you believe it? No, can you believe it? Then they want to have our jet fighters. Our jet fighters are the best way to go. They can make a turn on the size of a dime. Boom, boom. They want to use fuel that's a little bit better for the environment. So that as we're attacking some country, trying to devastate some country because they've been bad to us, we go in, we're dropping bombs all over the place, but at least we're not leaving any environmental footprint. These people are crazy. And the problem is, you know, I stopped it because they came to see me. Sir, we have a new fighter jet. We think it's environmentally friendly. I said, who cares if you're dropping bombs all over the place? You're shooting everybody. No, it's true. You're shooting everybody. No, we think it's environmentally friendly. I said, what's the bad side? Well, there is one problem. It's about 15% less effective. That's a lot. You know what 15% is for a fighter jet? The difference between being shot down and shooting the other guy down. That's the difference. That's a big difference. And then another beauty, just while I'm on it, you don't mind if I go off script, do you? They like it. But how about this one? The trucking industry, supply chain. We got enough problems. You never heard about supply chain during the Trump administration after we left. They want trucks now to go all electric. And they give them a very short period of time. So all these big, beautiful companies, they have these massive Peterbilt throwers, they have these big, beautiful trucks. They cost a fortune. They have a tank of diesel that goes 2,000 miles. Think of that. Up to 2,000. That's pretty much max. But 2,000 miles. An electric truck doesn't have the right torque or pull. We'll have to ask somebody. In other words, it's not as good. But it goes 300 miles. So they have to stop approximately 6.5 times every time. And by the way, it takes a long time to juice them up. And I don't even talk about the fact that, you know, you don't have chargers, because if it was good, you could build them, right? But, you know, they're building chargers all over the place. It's a disaster. You know, they say, you know, the greatest part about having an all-electric truck? The first 10 minutes after it's charged up, you're so happy. But after 10 minutes, now you're in a state of trauma because you're wondering, where the hell am I going to get a charge to get it? Very traumatic. It's a very traumatic experience. So you have a truck that goes 2,000 miles and those beautiful things. They got the bedrooms in there good enough for Trump to live. I'd live in one of those trucks. You ever see those big, beautiful rooms? They make them like suites now. These trucks are incredible. They're unbelievable, actually. They're incredible machines. One of the top guys in the industry said they'll all go bankrupt. The supply chain will die. And, you know, I shouldn't even say this. I should let it happen because it's good for the election. But I don't want our country to be hurt. They won't do anything, though. You know, like open borders. You'd think they'd close the borders. They're not doing it. You would think they would be closing the borders right now. They don't care. They actually I think they want to destroy our country. But with the trucks, you would think that they'd sit down for about 3 minutes with trucking companies, and after 3 minutes they'll say, sorry, we can't do that. I was with Great Boaters. They make a great South Carolina the other day. Great company. They make boats now. They want an all-electric boat. They don't want to use the mercury and the different, you know, the gasoline-powered engines. They want all-electric. So I said to the head of the company's like 50 years old, doing great, make hundreds and hundreds of boats. But now they're not selling well because the interest rates are too high. They're not selling the whole thing. They said, sir, I mean, I'm like an angel to them. I walk in because they had the best 4 years of their life. And he said, now it's all ending. But now they want to force them to go 2 things. 2 miles an hour. You know what that is? A slow golf cart goes 10 miles an hour. Up to 90 miles. Up to 90 miles, 2 miles an hour. I said, how far does the boat go? 60 miles. So in other words, beyond what the boat goes. They want them to go just very slowly. And they want to do, the new regulations are coming out, all electric boats. I said to the man, and this is a pro, if I could sit down with him in 5 minutes and know exactly what you have to do. I said, would it work? No, sir, because the entire boat would have to become a battery. The batteries take massive amounts, and it would be so heavy that it would sink. And then I asked him a question. He said, you must have a science background. I've never been asked. If you're in a boat and you're sitting on top of a battery and the boat starts to sink, do you get electrocuted? Let's say the boat is going down and you have a choice. You got a shark that's 10 yards away, or you can go down with the damn boat and get electrocuted. Honestly, you know what I take? I'm taking the boat every single time. I want the boat. But this is where we are. They want army tanks. These people are crazy. But the trucking industry is probably worse than the auto industry. I have a friend that bought a car, and he thought it was environmentally good. By the way, it's environmentally bad because the batteries are a disaster. You can't get rid of them, all those things. But I have a friend, he bought a car because he's a conservative guy, but he wanted to be, he believed all this nonsense that they're putting out. And he bought a car, and he always makes a trip from Kentucky, politician, he makes a trip from Kentucky to Washington, D.C. quite a bit. And he'd usually make it and, get out of the car, and he'd probably have gasoline left over, no big deal. Now he goes, and he's stopping all the time. Stop. The guy was a nervous wreck, like he got down there about 4 days later. The guy was a disaster. I said, are you okay? Yeah. I said, how's your environmental experience working? But, electric cars fine if you're going to go short distances. You're going to go, within a very short period of time and very short distance. But we have to make everything available. Hybrids are good. All gasoline is good. Don't forget, we have more gasoline than any country in the world, and we're sitting on top of it. And